Hello and welcome back to Fabos TV. Today we're sharing with you the Champion of Light encounter from recent raid testing within the Battle of Dazar'alor instance.
So this is the first encounter within the raid. The fight consists of a paladin, which is the main boss, and various little adds. In the very short time that we actually had while we were testing this boss, it feels that what's most important is controlling the adds throughout the fight and bursting damage onto the boss whenever possible.
So
let's jump into the encounter.
So we found it was best to tank the boss on one side of the room and the adds on the other. Whilst tanking the boss, you'll gain stacks of Sacred Blade.
Okay, we're good.
To frequently drop this dot, you need to tank swap, which is difficult considering all the adds that are currently on the other tank.
Let's go to the shorter videos. Yeah, because these are going to take way too long. Okay, let's just look at these. Hopefully they'll be... Yeah, these are a lot shorter. Alrighty, so... Oh no, she doesn't even have most of the video guides up. Okay, well, we'll watch the ones that she does have. How about that? Okay.
Hi, I'm Hazel, and this is a guide to the Champion of Light boss fight in Battle of Dazar'alor on normal and heroic difficulty.
I mean, we've already got music on this one. I mean, come on. This is some real, this is some serious shit.
It's the first encounter, and the reason why this boss has such a vague name is that it's actually a different boss based on whether you're Horde or Alliance.
Oh, that makes sense.
The fight is exactly the same, but Horde fight a Dark Iron Dwarf named Frida, and the Alliance fight Rawani, who you'll see here. It's the exact same fight, though. The super short version is always tank the adds about 30 yards from the boss. Be on the boss during Seal of Retribution, which she starts in, and be on the adds during Seal of Reckoning, which is the rest of the time. If you remember that, you're like 80% there. Zealotry is the big thing here, and it's pretty straightforward. It's basically a damage modifier that stacks up on the boss when you're doing the fight wrong. There's no way to clear it, so just don't do wrong
so that's
things.
Like if you're attacking the wrong target. So they're going to have to nerf that in LFR, because as a lot of you guys know, the LFR zombies are unable to attack another target. So imagine if you are in one target, right? You're attacking one target, and then you have to switch to another target. You can't do that. Like you can't do that. You have to go. You go one target, you hit him, and then he's dead. That's it. Okay. But this is what happened in Siege of Orgrimmar. Is they had to nerf General Nazgrim because people were so bad in LFR, they refused to stop damaging General Nazgrim in defensive stance, and Blizzard had to nerf the entire fight because the LFR zombies literally wouldn't stop attacking. So this is what they'll have to do. If it scales up too high for LFR, they're going to have to nerf it. I'd attack in defensive stance too. But it was more like, I mean, like,
Sacred Blade is the main tank mechanic. It's a 10-second holy dot that will stack up on whoever she's hitting. That's mostly fine, but if it does get too high to live with, you've got a few options. You could maybe tank swap if it's an emergency, but that's kind of messy with all the adds, especially when you really need them to not get near the boss.
Oh, so this is just a tank swap mechanic.
Instead, whenever the boss starts a long cast, you can just book it in the opposite direction, and Sacred Blade should fall off before the boss catches back up to you. It's also funny to just pretend that you're leaving the whole fight behind.
It, or?
Wave of Light is a big, sparkly, pretty thing that you do not want to touch.
Oh,
the boss will whip that
effect.
out towards the adds, or a random raid member if there aren't any adds. If it hits the adds, it'll start to heal them over time, which can be purged off. In a perfect world, the ad tank gets the adds out of the way, but they're casters and that's annoying, so you probably just want to dispel the hot. Maybe.
So that's why blood decays are really good. You just have the blood decay. I'm assuming they're not immune to Gorefiend's grasp. You just have the blood decay, move over, death grip them all over with Gorefiends, and then there's no problem. It's actually amazing how many situations blood decays are just better than other tanks in. It's ridiculous.
Use a master spell from all of those priests that you kidnapped to help you with soul. Being a pretty paladin, the boss will have a Crusader Seal buff active at all times. She starts with Retribution, builds energy over 50 seconds or so, and then pops a special move and switches to Reckoning, where you do it over again with a different flavor. I personally suffer from paladin word blindness, so I like to think of Retribution as Salty Boss and Reckoning as Spicy Boss. Seal of Retribution, or Salty Seal, is the hit the boss, not the ad seal. If you kill an ad during Retribution, she'll be salty about it and get a bunch of zealotry later, so just leave the adds be and focus the boss during this seal. Keep in mind that she'll be firing out those waves of light towards the adds, so don't be on that side. While salty, her melee attacks will AoE the raid with Retribution Wave, which is not avoidable. Try to stay kinda close together
so you just group up and damage her down. That's pretty simple.
When she reaches 100 energy, she releases the seal with Judgment Righteousness. That buffs one of the ads to do a ton more damage and healing, and that's also when she swaps seals. It's time to go fight the ads at this point, and I recommend starting with the big buffed one. During Seal of Reckoning, or Spicy Seal, hitting the boss gives her zealotry stacks directly.
She's standing in the circle. She wasn't supposed to be in that, I'm pretty sure, because she had a debuff and took a lot of damage. So basically, here's what happens, is you've got two different phases. There's the first phase where you fight the boss, and then you switch off and you kill the ad that gets empowered. Then you go back to either killing ads or killing the boss. It's pretty easy, man.
Imagine that she's very hot and don't touch. The only one that can hit her is the tank, who is exempt as long as they have Sacred Blade. She'll also be doing a bit more tank damage under Reckoning with a move also called Reckoning. Mitigation for that is good, but as long as you haven't forgotten to put a healer on the tank, it should be fine. At 100 energy, she releases the spice with Judgment Reckoning, which is an unavoidable raid-wide damage burst. Stack for heals, use a cooldown if you need to, and as long as you didn't feed her too many zealotry stacks, you'll be fine. You've probably noticed by now that this fight has ads. You start with a set, and Call to Arms summons more later on.
That's a lot of damage.
Will look different based on whether you're Hoarder
or
alive,
they wiped
but
on
you get
normal
the same
mode.
skills either way.
Oh no, it's on heroic.
Are healers with 3 spells,
I
all of
didn't
which are
notice that.
kickable.
Yeah, it's on heroic.
In order, you want to kick Heal to stop them from healing, Penance for similar reasons, and only kick Divine Burst if you're just swimming in interrupts.
So if you're
Crusaders
shitty,
are
you
melee
kick
ads
that
that
one.
win most irritating mechanic prize for Blinding Faith. It's one of those that turn around before they finish the cast things, which is fine, except that we all know people who just won't. It's a 5-second disorient if you get caught, so just don't look at them.
Bro, like, y'all have no idea. Like, if you ever played back in 3.1, or 3.2, whenever they added these, like, different dungeons, this was the dumbest fucking thing. These guys, like, there was this boss. His name was Edric the Pure. He was the second boss in the Trial of the Crusader, or Trial of the Champion. And he did the turn away, and it literally said on your screen, turn your fucking character around. And people were like, what? Boom. Hit in the fucking face, blinded, tank loses aggro, healers dies, and then everybody else dies after that because dungeons were still kind of hard back then. It was so fucking annoying. And now, right, I mean, so you'd think that, you know, mechanics like this would have taught players over the course of 10 years to get better. Well, I think most of you guys have done Gahoon. No. No, see, like, people just now are getting used to the idea of having the tank swap. So in about 5 years from now, people will understand moving and turning your character away. You know, because like you look at Blinding Faith. Now, let's just use some context clues here. Blinding. What does that have to do with? Your eyes. What else is blinding? The sun. What do you not do with the sun? You don't look at the sun. So you don't look at the character, and you don't go blind. There it is. It's just that simple. Don't look at the sun. Well, I used to think that if you looked at the sun long enough, you'd be able to develop a callus on your eyes, so you could look at the sun more. But I went outside and I tried to look at the eclipse last year. It turns out I was wrong.
Ever if you don't have to, and otherwise listen to your alerts and then turn around before you get blinded. Good luck. They'll also drop Consecration, which is mostly to keep their tank awake. All ads will take 50% less damage while standing in it, so drag them out and don't step on it yourself. And there's also Crusade.
Oh, that's great. I love seeing mechanics like that because, oh, that's supposed to keep your tank alert? Because we all know we're just going to have to damage them down in the Consecration. Like, we're just have to sit there and just fucking deal with it because the tank doesn't know how to move. Even though it's so simple, it's like you just put the thing down and you move them out of it. No, we're going to have to do that. That's what it's going to be.
Crusader Strike, which is a good time for the ad tank to press mitigation if they have any. I wouldn't stress about it, though. So you go back and forth between ads and boss based on the seals, and that's most of it. At 30% health, the boss pops Avenging Wrath and will do 30% more damage for the rest of the fight. That's an obvious point for Lust and cooldowns if you still have them. If you've been letting Zealotry stack up, that'll really bite you in the butt here. Good thing that you didn't, because you're a smart cookie.
It's not going to bite you in the ass. It would never do that, because that would be profanity. And these are guides that are made for kids. So you can't, like, if the kid hears ass, they're going to praise Satan. So that's just the way it goes, right? Like, if they hear that word, your kid's going to start doing cocaine. It's the way it goes.
On Hurricane Higher, the fight gets one new ability, which is Divine Protection. She puts a bubble on one of the ads for 6 seconds, so don't hit that one, it won't do much. That's all.
Man, this fight is really hard. So, she puts a debuff on an ad to where you can't hit the ad. Man, I know one way to tell if somebody's a fucking dumbass.
That's the champion of Light boss in Battle of Dazar'alor. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you out, please consider leaving me a like, check out my channel for more raid guides and other WoW stuff, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!
That was good. Okay. First boss seems like a fucking joke. Let's be honest. It's a complete fucking joke. I can't really see it being difficult at all. Let's see here. Anyone care? Well, yeah, I mean, like, obviously. Yeah, on PTR, you just burst ads on a boss. Yeah, it seems like a joke, man. Easy fucking boss. How long is the raid? First boss is always a joke? Has there ever been a time where the first boss wasn't a joke? That's actually a good question. BWL. Oh, yeah, see, I never raided back then. I never raided, like, a lot of, like, 40-man raids or anything in vanilla. So I never got a chance to, like, experience that. Let me just go inside a raid or something like that so I can just kind of be away from getting attacked. It's too bad there's not more people that want to do the AQ stuff. I don't know. I really think it's cool. It's just too bad that more people aren't interested in that kind of content, you know? Magma. Oh, yeah, Magma and Omnitron. Yeah, both of those were real cocks, too. I forgot about that. I started making first bosses easy some time ago. Oh, no, I know they did it on purpose. And I think first bosses should be easy. I don't think they should make the first boss just like this massive fucking cock block that you just can't get over.
Hi, I'm Hazel, and this is a guide to the Jadefire Masters raid boss in Battle of Dazar'alor on normal and heroic difficulty. Similar to Champion of Light, the names and models of this duo will vary depending on your faction. The Horde fight Mestra and Manceroy Flamefist, while Alliance battle Marag Grimfang and Anathos Firecaller. The fight's the same, so we're just going to call them the Monk and the Mage. They each have their own moves, and then there's also special combos that they whip out at 30, 60, and 100 energy.
Alright.
Let's start by talking about the Monk, which is Mestra or Marag. She needs to have less health than the Mage at all times, or else she gets buffed by Harmonious Spirits. Basically,
Let's see, caster will become more powerful. Well, thank God we know exactly how much more powerful they are, because they will become more powerful. Thank you, Blizzard, for allowing us to understand what's going on. More powerful.
People should be on the Monk. You can still multi-dot the Mage and keep them pretty close, but the Monk should always be lower. Now and then, the Monk will teleport away from her tank and start a Whirling Jade Storm, which pumps out pretty heavy raid damage. She'll stop that as soon as somebody engages her in melee, so whoever's closest can smack her and then the tank can pick her back up. On Heroic, this is going to be easier said than done, as there's a lot more stuff on the ground and she is happy to go whirl away right in the middle of it.
You just heroically pelt her.
What do you mean? Kick her tank into the air for a multi-sided strike. You'll be in a big green pancake with 6 little mouse-ear pancakes all around. One at a time, images will spawn into little pancakes and then charge you. You want to turn your character to face each one. Otherwise, it's going to wreck you. If you're a stubbornly devoted keyboard turner, you're going to have a bad time. On Hurricane Higher, everyone will need to learn this because it'll happen to more than just the tanks in the final phase. After the multi-sided strike, the affected tank gets the tested debuff and will take way more physical damage for the next 40 seconds. That's your cue to tank swap and go hang out with the Mage.
I love how, like, every fight now, they have some fucking mechanic that just makes it to where you have to tank swap. Because there's never a point where you can just one tank it. There's always just got to be like that one mechanic. Like, it just kind of is annoying. I think that if you've got a big enough dick tank and he can tank both mobs and both damage at the same time, then you only do it with one tank. I think that's like part of the fun. That's what's interesting. Yeah, Talok and yeah, exactly like that. That's what I liked.
Hurricane Higher, the Monk will also spawn Spirits of Shuin to chase down random players. Give the target some space to avoid getting cleaved, keep them healed, and then CC and kill the tiger. Next, let's take a look at the Mage, which will be Anathos Firecaller or Manceroy Flamefist. Instead of hitting their tank directly, they'll spam them with special fireballs. Those stack up the Rising Flames debuff on the tank, which will explode with Burnout once you let it drop off. If that stacks up too high, you're going to wipe the raid with the Burnout.
Wait a second, let me read this here. Burnout's damage is Flames Burn, final boss on all players. Oh no. Oh no. That's a wipe. That's definitely a fucking wipe. You just think about that, like, because you have one guy. I'm gonna tell you what I'd do, right? Is I would get on LFR and I would let that stack all the way up, and I'd be like, guys, who's the bomb? And they'd be like, who is it? And I'd get myself killed. I'd be like, I'm the bomb. And then everybody died. They get really mad, right? It wouldn't be funny. It wouldn't be funny because of the joke, but it would be funny because they're so mad at the bad joke that they're mad at me. Right? Like, I don't know. Like, just thinking about this makes you, like, these mechanics make me want to do LFR more than they make me want to do normal mode.
At that with a tank swap, probably around 4 or 5 stacks. Just keep an eye on when the multi-sided strike is coming and make sure that you're not already at 5 when your tank buddy goes up for that. The mage also likes to blink away, throw up a fire shield, and start casting Pyroblast. Everyone needs to swap onto him to damage through the shield and then kick the pyro before it one-shots somebody. He'll also...
You know what that reminds me of? The exact same mechanic in Tempest Keep that Kael'thas did. Like, literally the exact same thing. You know what he cast? Pyroblast.
Also be putting out Searing Embers debuffs onto people, which the healers want to watch out for. Dispel those because they explode when they expire. Start with whichever ones are about to go first. If you're friends with your team, maybe figure out in voice chat who's got who. If you're super friends with your raid, you might be able to get them to stack for a Mass Dispel, but, you know, they're busy. On Huracan Higher, the mage also spawns magma traps on the floor. Those seem biased to specifically block off areas that the monk likes to whirl in. If you step in a trap, it'll kick you up to lethal falling distance, and if that doesn't get you, it debuffs you to take 100%.
That reminds me a lot of another mechanic that was in Heroic Ragnaros. I think it was in normal mode Ragnaros too. And what it did is it put a circle on the ground, and if a player ran into it, it would knock them up in the air. And then after that, they would take more damage from subsequent attacks that were the same thing. It was called Magma Trap. Wait, does it have it? Oh, there it is. Magma Trap. It's right there. Oh, you guys can't see it. There. It's the exact same mechanic. Like, literally the exact same mechanic. That's, like, one of the positives to, like, playing this game for a long time, is once you see these mechanics, you automatically know what they're going to be.
More damage from future magma traps. You want to pop those as needed.
Wait, is it the same icon, too?
Using immunities and slow falls in a pinch. And don't pop 2 in a row. On top of all that, this fight also has special combo attacks that happen at certain power thresholds. They seem to gain energy at a flat rate, so these basically happen on a timer. At 30 power, you get living bombs inside of smoke clouds. The bombs need to be killed before they explode, and the smoke clouds that they spawn in break line of sight. You'll need to get inside the cloud in order to hit the bomb, or to heal anyone that's in the cloud. To make it more fun, the bombs also have a rotating laser attack which you need to run in a circle to avoid. Get in, don't get zapped, kill the bomb, and then do the rest of them before they pop.
That's easy.
At 60 power, they do a big maze made out of rings of peace. If you've never met a ring of peace before, I can tell you that they'll kick you back if you try to step in one, and there is no walking over them, so don't try. Everyone gets ported to one side, and you have to make it to the other end of the room, where there's a big wall of ice with weak spots that have health bars. Pick and damage down a weak point to break through the ice wall and kick the boss. While that's happening, the mage is raining down Phoenix Strikes to avoid. On Huracan Higher, only one point of the wall is attackable at first. A fourth orb spawns in the maze that you can pick up and use on a different weak point to activate it if the first one sucks.
Oh, wow.
Finally, at 100 power, both bosses transform. The mage becomes a phoenix, while the monk becomes a serpent. The phoenix does pulsing ray damage to the rest of the fight and continues to assault the tank with rising flames. The monk dragon gets dragon breath, which is a frontal fire cone. On Huracan Higher, the dragon breath leaves fire patches on the ground that'll eat up your floor space if you're too slow. Pop what you have left and finish the fight. And that's Jade Fire Masters. You may have noticed that my footage of this encounter was a little limited, so I've made liberal use of illustrations to demonstrate. If you're still confused and want to see the graphics from the PTR, I recommend the Fat Boss video, which I'll link down below. Thanks for watching.
Wow, look at that, promoting other creators.
Check out my channel for more raid guides and other WoW stuff, and have a wonderful...
Yeah, let me see what the Fat Boss version of this is, okay? I'm actually curious to see like what the run is going to be.
Hello and welcome back to Fat Boss TV. Today we're continuing our coverage of the Battle of Dazar'alor.
Here we go. Here's the run.
Say, okay, the traps don't matter because we brought 3
rogues.
Alright,
they're about to pop
That's
off
kind of scary
here.
Going into a fight where you remove an entire kind of mechanic
so
just by bringing certain classes. So hopefully
just
they
run
can
over
balance
to the right,
it in such
guys.
a way that
Come on.
even if you do bring a shit ton of rogues, it doesn't give you too much of an advantage.
Wait, really?
Also, one thing I wanted to touch on was
this is
the
hard.
60 energy phase where the bosses teleport to one side of the room.
Well,
and
how did
DKs
DKs and shit get around that?
In concept, it's a really cool sort of phase, but it really wasn't a challenge while I was doing it on PTR.
So I think they programmed it to where, like, only on the left side they spawn. So you just walk around all of them, and then you just go kill the ice wall.
It wasn't a challenge while I was doing it on PTR.
That seems easy.
The maze really didn't seem complete, and for the most part, you could just avoid it by jumping over the terrain of the temple.
Yeah, well, even leaps and blinks and stuff just went through all the inner pieces.
Okay, dude.
So, I don't know.
We should also mention that the fire patches that were spawning, almost all of them spawned
and then you
inside
break
ring
that
of
down,
pieces.
and
so
then you go
going
into the phase again. Okay, that makes pretty much pretty good sense. So this fight, I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, yeah, it looks all right, this PTR. Well, yeah, of course. See, like, I want to read something that you guys, I've said a lot, okay? This is from Mr. Dwarf in chat. Why can't they make simpler bosses with more punishing attacks that are harder to avoid rather than bosses you need to spend so much time to learn fights? It's not even about learning fights. What it's more about is the fact that, like, a lot of these, like, mechanics and everything are just, they're kind of, like, pointless in a way. Like, look at the damage that a lot of these mechanics do. I'll show you. It inflicts 2,000 damage. Players caught in a beam suffer 24,000 damage. Like, I feel like there are so many of these mechanics that you can just do them wrong, and it doesn't matter. And I liked the time back in the day, whenever there were only like 4 or 5 mechanics that a boss could do, at the most. But every single one of them would fucking kill you. And that way we don't have this bloat where it's this gigantic it's like basically having a soup full of pixels, and anytime you take a bite, you're dead. It's obnoxious. Like, just have a few fucking mechanics that players have to avoid, make sure they have to learn the mechanics to kill the boss, and it's more fulfilling than a person basically just getting healed through every fucking mechanic. What? That's boring? Well, I don't know. I think it's more boring to have 100 different mechanics and none of them kill you, so you just decide which ones you're going to fuck up on. And it's the same on Mythic, too. It's not like, oh, Mythic is going to be that much harder. Unless you're in a top 50 world guild, Mythic is going to be a fucking joke, too. You can mess up mechanics all the time, and it's fine. Boss fights are basically theme rides at this point. Well, it's not really about them being theme rides. It's about, like, the way that they treat mechanics. It's like players never really have to learn mechanics. Like, there can always just be, like, somebody else that does it or whatever. And the mechanics aren't really that overly punishing one at a time, right? And you have certain examples like Kill Jaden, which is an exception. But Kill Jaden was bad because it was like the mind reading of, like, who's going to go stand where. But besides that, it was fine. I just like to see more fights that are like that instead. Same argument for Trash Packs and Mythic Plus. They have too many mechanics and most of them don't do shit. Well, you're right? I mean, you've got Mythic Plus. Like, I go into Mythic Plus, and the first fucking mob I fight is it's a dog, and it's got more mechanics than Ragnaros. Guys, just give it a break. Just let people kill the dog and get to the trash. You know what I mean? Like, you go and you do a pull in Freehold, and you've got to prepare for that longer than you've got to prepare for Grong here. Like, this is a 3-minute boss fight. I can guarantee you, there has never been a gorilla in the game that wasn't easy to kill. Every gorilla is a joke. You know why? Because it's a fucking gorilla. They're limited in what their options are. They can move their hands around. They can stomp. And that's it. So it's an easy boss. I guarantee you it's going to be an easy boss.
Hi, I'm Hazel, and this is a guide to the Grong raid boss in Battle of Dazar'alor on normal and heroic difficulty. Alliance fights Grong the Revenant, who's noticeably decaying, while Horde gets Grong the Jungle Lord. The mechanics of this fight are the same between Horde and Alliance, but the names of almost every mechanic are different, so we're just going to give both names for each thing. Some real mouthfuls coming up. Throughout the fight, Grong's going to be building up death energy or rage. Might as well just call it juice. He'll get the juice faster as his health drops below 70 and 40%. When he reaches 100 energy or rage, he'll do a death knell or tantrum. That's a channel that batters the whole raid with damage that ramps thanks to a stacking debuff. If he does that with 100 energy, it will wipe the raid, so the key is to force him to spill his juice early. To help with that, there will be necrotic cores or aptagonizer cores dropped.
So you have to help the gorilla release his juice.
In. Someone can pick that up and use their extra action button to zap him for 5% of his health and trigger the juice spilling as long as he had at least 25 energy. I'm thinking...
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So you guys don't even understand why this is bad. Let me reread this, okay?
Early. To help with that, there will be necrotic cores or aptagonizer cores dropped in.
What happens whenever Billy the dipshit clicks on an orb and he doesn't use it on Grong? Think about that. Yeah, see, like, whenever I look at these mechanics, I don't look at how to do it right, because I just assume you're going to do it right, because it's fucking easy. I look at the ways that people can do it wrong. That's a way that people can do it wrong. Then kick Billy.
Antagonizer cores dropped in.
Yeah, but he's still white.
Someone can pick that up and use their extra action button to zap him for 5% of his health and trigger the juice spilling as long as he had at least 25 energy. I'm thinking aim for over 50 and under 75. You can hold on to the core for a bit, so take your time and zap him when the raid's ready.
Yo, that tank just got fucking deleted.
So take your time and under.
Like, watch this tank's health right here. The blood decay, top left.
I'm thinking aim for over 50 and under 75. You can hold
on to fucking gone, dude. She targeted him to heal him. He got fucking deleted. Okay, Grong does tank damage. I like it.
For a bit, so take your time and zap him when the raid's ready. Even with an early Death Knell tantrum, you'll still want to use healer cooldown, so maybe set up an order for that. For the tanks, he has a special and somewhat scary combo. He'll do 3 attacks in a row, which are each randomly chosen to be either a Bestial Smash or a Rending Bite. The smash is straight damage that makes future smashes hurt 5 times more, and the bite is a heavy bleed. Basically, what you want to do is tank swap mid-combo as soon as he's about to repeat an attack, or try to avoid having any one tank take 2 smashes or 2 bites. If you
No, you guys say RNG, this is bad. I think this is good, because this separates bad tanks from people that are just not fucking stupid. I'm not going to say good. I'm going to say people that are just not fucking stupid. If you're bad, you can probably still figure this out. But if you're stupid, you won't. So it's not that bad. Yeah, it's basically Ursoc. And by basically Ursoc, I mean it's Ursoc. This is Ursoc. And instead of him being a gorilla, or he is a gorilla, he's a gorilla instead of a bear this time. And the combo is random. So basically one guy tanks the bites, the other guy tanks the smashes. Pretty fucking simple.
You get unlucky enough to see 3 of the same moves in a row, just use some big cooldowns and pray it's not 3 smashes.
Wait, what?
If you get
Wait a second. You're stupid? Wait, what? Both tanks take a sample of both? Wait. Oh, it says Bestial Smash. I thought it said Rending Bite. Okay, yeah.
Lucky enough to see 3.
So that means that it can randomly just be 30 smashes, and then one guy has to take a 500% smash. I might have to go back on what I said about the RNG. Well, this is time gating, right? Because they're time gating things. 3 smashes can't happen. DUF's only 2.5 seconds. Okay, fine. I guess it's fine then.
The same moves in a row, just use some big cooldowns and pray it's not 3 smashes. I'm hoping the game has a heart and won't do that to you. On Hurricane Higher, he finishes the combo with a Bestial Throw and Bestial Impact. The throw grips the tank and damages them over 5 seconds, and then throws them at a random targeted player. It's very clear who's been marked, and that player is going to need some room. When the tank lands, Bestial Impact will do fall-off damage to the raid,
so they have to run away.
The farther you can get from that, the better.
Alright.
Up in melee, Grong will do a Deathly or Reverberating Slam, followed by an Echo. The slam targets a random melee and does damage in 10 yards of them. After about 3 seconds, that area explodes in an Echo that does more damage and a knockback. Don't be all stacked up in one place and get out of the Echo.
See, I like this. Look at that mechanic there. Look at that. It explodes, dealing 140,000 damage. That should be 240,000 damage. That way it fucking one-shots you. If you're too goddamn fucking stupid to get out of the smash, it's a big, massive, purple pizza. You deserve to die. Not in real life, but just like in the game. You know, like, you deserve to get got. I'm sorry, but that's fucking pathetic. Like, you have to... Because, like, remember back in, like... Because I remember this. This is very, very clear memory in my mind. Fighting Mimiron in Ulduar and tabbing out and knowing my computer was so bad because I was watching porn at the same time we were doing the fight, and tabbing out, and the last frame that I saw as I tabbed back out to Newgrounds or whatever I was trying to find porn on, or I don't know, like E-Bomb's World. It was so long ago I can't fucking remember. And seeing that and knowing if I could tab back in, I'd die. So I just told them I was lagging out before I even got killed. And those mechanics would just kill you in one hit for sure. And that's the way that it used to be. I like mechanics that were like that. Not a whole lot of them, but they matter.
Throughout the fight, ads will appear on the outer
This fight
edges
seems
of the room.
good.
Alliance gets Death Specters, while Horde gets Ape-Tagonizers. They won't attack players, but instead spam Death Empowerment or Ape-Tagonize at the boss to give him juice. Kick that as much as you can.
Those are the trolls in Trainwreck's chat. Wow. Okay.
And kill those ASAP to avoid faster death knell tantrums.
Yeah,
the Alliance
gang,
Death Specters will also send out Voodoo Blast. On Horde, that's called Megatomic Seeker Missiles, and it's done by unattackable flying ape wrangler ads overhead. It's the same thing, though. It sends out target-seeking missiles at the ranged, which do a 10-yard AoE when they land and leave behind a damage pool. Stay a bit spread out, move out of the pools, and if at all possible, try to group them up near each other. When the ads die, they explode with Spirit Dispersion or Lightning Detonation. Don't be in that unless you have to be, and don't let them pop within 15 yards of the boss, or else they'll juice him up. On Heroic and higher, there's one more mechanic that makes everything we just looked at twice as fun. Wrong will do Ferocious Roars, which fear anybody who is not standing within 5 yards of another player. That'll happen while you're dropping off missiles, avoiding echoes, getting the tank thrown at you, all that good stuff. Keep an eye on the timer so you know when it's coming, and have a buddy. Stick to your buddy.
Boy!
Be nice to your buddy. Don't leave your buddy. And that's Wrong in the Battle of Dazar'alor. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you out, please consider leaving me a like.
Yeah, dude, that is a clown fucking fiesta. Let's be honest. I mean, I see something like that, I know exactly what it is. That's gonna be a bunch of dumbass dipshits. Well, why do I keep getting feared? Like the people that are looking at Gahoon, whenever it says Gahoon cast gaze of Gahoon, turn away. They're like, what? Where is he? I can't turn away if I'm hitting the boss. And they get feared away. Those are the same goddamn people. Whenever I do Antorus and I tell people stack up on Verimathras and there's some dumbass that's standing at the beginning, why did I spawn an ad? What happened? Man, this group sucks. It's just going to be the same thing. The best part about this is whenever you have a mechanic like this, there's almost always like 2 or 3 people that fuck it up. And they'll always blame someone else, right? They're like, oh, well, you were standing next to me and then you moved away from me. And so it's your fault. I mean, I was standing. I thought you were supposed to be there next to me and you walked away. And that's, yeah, I mean, like, trust me, I've raided for over 10 years. Like, I know this shit.
Check out my channel for more raid guides and other WoW stuff, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
We'll give her a like. There we go. It's a good video. I like how one thing that I like about these videos that she does is that it seems like she's tailoring the videos for the dumbest person possible, while at the same time not being insulting towards them. Because if it was me, I would be like, yo, so if you get hit by the red thing, you're a fucking retard. And then if you're not standing next to somebody, you're dumb. And then if you don't do the tank swap right, it's because you're fucking stupid. And then I'd get through all those fights, that'd be done, right? It's like, I used to do these, right? Like, I used to have, like, my 5-minute guides. Asmongold 5-minute guide. Cleans his layer in under 5. Okay, dude. Where is it? I thought I had these. Like, what do you mean? Just wait, no, dead channel. Yeah, look, I know, man, I know. Okay, here we go. Everbloom, Grimrail Depot. So all of these videos here, Upper Blackrock Spire. Look how fast I'm talking.
What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'll explain UBRS in 5 minutes and some change. The first boss we had here is Orebinder. They're going everywhere. Those are the axes. He also does Iron Reaver.
Look at
That's
that,
when he charges to a random player and does a bunch of damage to them. He'll do damage to anybody else for whatever reason. He summons in a ton of ads. Obby comes, and he's all grown up now, and he's ready to kick some fucking ass.
See, like, that's the kinds of videos that I did, right? And it's funny to see, like, these 5-minute videos. See, I was just a huge fucking dick about this kind of stuff, too. Like, if somebody did something wrong, or there was, like, some easy mechanic, I'd just tell them, like, they're fucking stupid for it. YouTube and Gold, yeah. Like, look at this, man. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, sometimes I'll watch these videos and I'll actually get depressed because of how much hair I used to have, right?
What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold. Didn't even explain how to do Skyreach Heroic in less than 5 minutes. He pretty much cast.
Look at that hair, man. Like, I had, like, my nice-ass shirt on and everything. Oh, here's one.
Sup, y'all? It's me.
So how much y'all want to bet? Like, actually, I know what this is. I remember I stayed up all fucking night to do this video.
It's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm going to explain Everbloom in 5 minutes. The first boss...
And look at this, I made like a whole title for it and everything. Like, this is the most production value I put into any video that I had ever made. Like, I was actually the laziest fucking YouTuber in the entire world. Like, if you went back and you looked at my videos, like, look at these videos. Like, this is literally a 34-minute video. Like, think about this, right? It's got almost 1 million views. The content of the screen has fucking nothing to do. Yeah, you're right, McConnell. This is my first video here, or my most recent video. It has nothing to do. Like, I am literally farming frogs in the Timeless Isle on my alt. It has nothing to do at all with the video, right? And then we transition from farming frogs in Timeless Isle to basically getting carried through island expeditions by my guildmates. And then I think we finish it off with, oh no, I just spend the entire time getting carried over and over. Then, like, you look at the screen, I never do any cuts. I don't do anything. I just sit there and fucking talk for a half hour. And 43,000 people like the video. 900,000 people. Like, I don't know. It's like, I'm amazed that it even got that far. I didn't think the video would get that good. I've actually thought about making another video. I just don't know what it's going to be yet. Like, I want to make a new video, like, talking about, like, the meta of, like, kind of, like, streaming and, like, making videos and, like, everything else. I just don't know what it should be. I really do want to start making another one, though. The State of Asmongold. When? Soon. Asmongold is such a dick that he's a dick to himself. I am my own worst critic, okay? Like, do you really think, like, I sit here and I'm like, man, this video is fucking dog shit. Like, this one sucks. This one sucks. Why does this one suck, right? My predictions for BlizzCon 2017.
Not really anywhere.
Oh, this is whenever
I would be amazed if they didn't. They're like, oh no, here's patch 7. Kind of like the Argent Dawn or something.
Let's see.
Going to be getting rid of it anytime soon, and I don't think this coming expansion is going to be the time that they do it one way or another. I don't really think that they're going to allow the two factions to play with each other, and I know
I was right about that. I was right about basically everything. I don't want to go through the whole video. Just take my word for it whenever I was right about everything, okay? Make a Downfall of Blizzard video? No, I don't want to do that, man. Like, I'm not going to do that. But, like, even this video right here, look at the amount of quality and effort that I put into this. So this is my alt, again, in Netherstorm. You know, a very relevant zone in 2017 at this point. And, or at least it was 10 years ago at that point. Running around, killing level 60 mobs, farming thorium and adamantite with mining.
I hope that she won't. I don't think that we'll see a whole lot of the Lich King in the next expansion either. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd like to be wrong because I like Scourge stuff and things with Skull.
That's true. Looks, I was right about everything, guys. I just want to let you guys know that. Reacting to his own video. Well, I just wanted to show you guys how little effort I put into my own videos, okay? That's basically the only point. And it's actually kind of crazy to see other people that put in a lot of effort into their videos. And, yeah.
Hi, I'm Hazel, and this is a guide to the Opulence raid boss in Battle of Dazar'alor on normal and heroic difficulty. Despite being a pile of money, which you'd think everyone would be into, this fight is an Alliance story encounter. That means that Horde players doing this boss will be temporarily race changed into Alliance, giving them new looks and racials.
Oh.
In the first phase, you want to kill the 2 Guardians and steal some jewels. Split the raid clean in half and send one group left.
Fuck. I have to plan things out. This fucking game. It's just so late. I am the laziest person ever. Like, honestly, if I have to move my character, I just get killed and wait for the loot. Like, I mean, I don't pay $15 a month. My dad doesn't pay $15 a month for me to have to move. Okay? I pay $15 a month for a loot. And that's what I'm there for.
And the other right. The Guardians both have Crush, which is a 180-degree smash. If he picks up one hand, it's on the side of that hand. If he picks up both hands, it's in front of him. Watch the wind-up and get out of the way. You'll get the head.
I don't like that. Yeah, I think that's weird. It doesn't like. Yeah, I don't like the way that mechanic works. It's just what a shit mechanic. Yeah, I just. It's not that it's too hard. It's confusing. right? I mean, it's, and it kind of is, but like if you slam your hand down, right? It's like logically.
It's in front of it.
You slam your hand down, right? Like, why would the shockwave go all the way back there? It's like, imagine this, right? If I take some water and I throw a rock in the water, it's not really going to go that far behind me. It's going to go mostly in front of me. And it's just, I don't know, I think it's weird. I feel like there'd be a better way for them to telegraph this. Okay? No, it will. No, it will do a bit, right? But not like that. Not 180 cone that way. That's ridiculous.
Watch the wind up and get out of the way. You'll get the hang of it after a couple
do I have to go to a fucking pool stream and go throw a pool noodle into the water and show you guys that this is fucking true? Trust me, I've thrown shit into the water before. Like I used to go down to the creek all the time and throw shit in the water. That was like half of my day. We'd go down to the creek, cut down sticks and bamboo, pretend like we were in the Viet Cong, and throw rocks in the water. That's all we did. It was great. Like, I know what I'm talking about here.
Wishings. Inzashi over on the left has Volatile Charge. It's an 8-second debuff that pulses damage and drops an orb when it expires.
Okay.
If you get that, run it as out of the way as you can manage. Just get it to an edge and try to keep them together. On the right side, Yalat has Flames of Punishment. He's going to twirl in a circle while firing out fire cones.
I like
At least
this.
on the PTR, he went really fast. You just gotta stay behind.
No, he didn't. Like, what do you mean? You just go around him, like, because he's right over there, because you're not supposed to be too far out, because if you are, then he's gonna hit you, because you can't get around him, because you have to go closer to him. Well, what do you mean? It's not, what do you mean it's fast? You just move. He doesn't do anything.
And run with the circle. It might help to put speedier classes in this group.
Well, you got
every 10% health, the Guardian moves ahead one square and then ignites the one behind you with Consuming Flame. This prevents you from going back to help your friends, and it also prevents you from catching up if you DC'd at the beginning of the fight.
Oh.
In these corridors are a couple of...
Let's be more honest. If you were AFK at the beginning of the fight, you're like, yo, guys, I DC'd. Man, I can't help, I guess, because the red wall's out. Yo, all right, I'll see you guys in a bit, okay? Like, just, yo, text me if my helmet drops, okay?
Different traps to deal with. Flame Jet is these fire lines that you want to dodge.
Oh.
Ruby Beam will lock onto a player and laser down pools under them. If you get that, kite it out of the way and try to draw a neat little blob.
Yo, this shit's hard.
Pulse Quickening Toxin is a dot that'll go out. It does ramping damage, but gives a nice little buff if it ticks while you're under half health. Healers can let that dip people below half for the buff if they're feeling up to it.
Please check out the Joe Leonard video in your Pantheon comments. Sure, remind me after I finish this video, and I'll look at the Pantheon video, okay?
And then top them off before they die. If you accidentally let someone die, just tell them you were buffing them. Hex of Lethargy is a debuff that goes out that will damage you whenever you move. Healers can dispel that, and they really should. On Hurricane Higher, the Guardians will overload at 30% health right about when they reach their final room. They'll randomly zap people and keep up everything they were doing, just bigger and more of it. You should have the gem buffs at this point, which will help you finish them off before you move on to the second phase. Before phase 2, let's talk about the gems. At the end of the hallway, you'll reach a gem room with a variety of crown jewels to choose from. Each player grabs one, and you keep your gem buff for the rest of the fight.
So I'll tell you, I'm supposed to get the red one. Like, I already know this. I'm 90% sure that I'm supposed to get the red one. All right? Because you've got basically, let's see. Wait, am I wrong? I bet I'm not wrong. Because this one's for the tanks. These two are for the healers. This one's for melee DPS, it's strength. This is probably for maybe like, see, I don't know which one these two are. And then I bet the opal is for ranged DPS. I just, watch.
You can only take a gem for your role, and multiple people can take the same one, so there's no need to bigger. Both tanks get the Diamond of the Milkshake Protector, and that is your only option. The buff absorbs damage and becomes depleted after it's absorbed 3 times your health in damage.
Okay.
After 30 seconds of being depleted, it'll reactivate and you're ready to go. When you get depleted Diamond, it's time for the other tank to take the boss.
Okay.
For healers, there are 2 options. The Amethyst of the Shadow King buffs your haste and causes your heals to apply Shadow Touch. You want to keep that buff up on everybody all the time. At least one healer per side needs to take an Amethyst, preferably someone with a lot of raid heals. If it's a big raid, you might need more. Tailwind Sapphire is for any healers that are not assigned to the Amethyst. It gives a stacking damage buff to recipients of your heals, and on the 5th stat gives you a big healing and damage buff. For DPS, there are 4 gems to choose from. The Ruby of Focused Animus stacks a damage taken buff on your target when you hit them. One person should take this on each side. The Opal of Unleashed Rage buffs your damage for each new target that you hit, which is good for the second phase of the fight where there are adds. This one is good for classes with heavy cleave or AoE.
Wrong.
The Topaz of Brilliant Sunlight is probably the most interesting gem, along with being a Dark Souls 1 reference. The owner of this gem stands away from other players to stack up a buff, and then becomes grossly incandescent, which gives nearby players 100% crit chance. If you ranged who enjoy having extra assignments should do that, and try not to overlap their buffs.
Wow.
For the rest of the DPS, there's the Emerald of Earthen Roots. While standing still, you'll stack up a buff that increases your damage. Don't move if you don't gotta. On Heroic and higher, when you pick up your gem, you'll get the Thief's Bane debuff. That'll do a massive hit of shadow damage to you after 30 seconds, which you'll only survive if an Amethyst healer has tagged you with the Shadow Touched buff. Hopefully they're on top of that, otherwise you're
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, this is like people have to communicate and interact with each other by planning how they're going to use their buffs. I mean, this is kind of scary already. I don't know if we're going to be able to handle this, guys. This is intense. All right, it's a 1 minute. I guess it's a 1 minute buff. As long as it's like an AoE heal, I guess it could be okay. There's a lot of mechanics here. Holy shit. But it's on heroic? It's just like, it's a lot.
Toast.
Okay.
Alright, so you got your gems, you finished off the constructs, and it's time to meet up in the middle to fight the actual boss.
Okay, here
Horde
we go.
power is why you don't pull the boss right away. As long as you killed both of the constructs, it won't do anything and you get some free damage time. If you skipped phase 1 and went straight for the boss, I'm sorry, that sucks. Liquid Gold is a dot that drops a pool of goo when it expires or is dispelled. Run that to the edges to drop it. Healers should dispel the liquid gold as soon as people are out of the way and not earlier.
See, I like that. Because that's the exact same mechanic that was in King's Rest first boss. I like it whenever they add mechanics that were exactly the same as previous mechanics. In like the same, I mean, like obviously expansions back is different, but like within the same expansion, whenever they use mechanics from dungeons and implement them in raids, I feel like it makes dungeons more of a teaching tool. Like having a mechanic from Ragnaros and using it now is like, you know, whatever. But this, in a way, I think is good.
Spirit of Gold adds will spawn around the boss and make their way to the edges of the room. If they make it, they'll start throwing money everywhere, which hurts if it hits you, and that's a problem. Stun, slow, and kill the adds before they get to the edge. Whale of Greed is a channel he'll do sometimes, dealing increasing raid-wide shadow damage. If the raid is covered in amethyst buffs from the healers, it should be okay. You can't stop the whale, and the boss gets a big stackable damage buff after each one, so this is kind of a soft enrage. Kill him before he gets too greedy. On Heroic and higher, there are 2 more mechanics in this phase. Tanks have to deal with Coin Sweep, which is just a really big hit. You're probably going to want a cooldown for that one. Last one is Coin Shower, which does big damage within 7 yards of a targeted player after 10 seconds.
This actually
that
seems
damage
like a hard
is split
boss.
between everyone that it hits, so as many people as possible should get in the ring to help share the damage.
Wow.
And that is the Opulence fight in Battle of Dazar'alor. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you out,
There's a
please
lot
consider
to it.
leaving me a like, check out my channel for more raid guides and other WoW stuff, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!
Yeah, that's... Because he's doing like all these other crazy mechanics. He's like, he's a wild animal, right? I mean, come on.